Woo! Howdy guys, how is it going? So you probably noticed that it is very, very dark, and with that it is pretty cold. At the moment it is 27 degrees Fahrenheit, so we are underneath that freezing threshold. To come out and do a camp setup in the dark. Just now about 7 p.m. is about 6 whenever I left. I come to this spot where we done the half shelter bivvy camp a few weeks back, and we're going to be using this Light Fighter 1 tent that I got from Misty Mountain Surplus. It's the one that we tried doing the zipper repair and all of that stuff with. So between using that flashlight I got right there on the tripod, y'all should be able to see what I'm doing along with the headlamp. And then I am excited because I brought some deer tenderloin that I've had marinating for 2 or 3 days now. So we're going to get a fire going. That's another reason I want to come here, because there's a lot of really good white oak to cook with. So we'll need to get the fire going so that we can get a bed of coals rocking and a rolling. Now here is a new piece of kit that I am really excited to use for the first time. Instead of frying up our deer tenderloin in a pan, I've got this titanium rack. It's got legs, but it also has a system to where you could suspend it from a tripod. And I mean, as you can see there, it's from a company called Gritter. So I'm gonna go over here, and before I get my fire area situated, I need to see what the footprint of this rack is gonna be. And they also come, I believe, I hope they're in here. Yeah, come with a set of tongs with handle or deer meat, and there is the titanium wire hooks that you can use to suspend this thing from the corners, because the legs are detachable. We'll leave all that stuff in there so we don't lose it. By God, that thing right there looks nifty as all get out. So I'm gonna go arrange these rocks kind of around this in the best fashion I can think of. Big rock, kind of get in there. Oh, and that feels plenty stable. I wish it was a little lower to the ground, but we can fix that. We'll just get a nice tall bed of coals going. So now I found a really cool product that I've just, I don't know how I hadn't heard of these before. But this right here is reusable silicone, that'll focus, Ziploc bags. And these are the Durable brand, and I got an assortment of these, but I've had this marinating that you can actually add boiling water to these bags. You can stick these pots down boiling water to heat up food. So they just kind of serve kind of like the same purpose as a retort pouch. But I've just got some very nice tenderloin. I had it in that top pocket that's been getting thrown around and, you know, hiking in and flipped over there. And these so far just do not leak. So we'll see how these hold up over time. But that is our tenderloin. Let's take and get ourselves a fire going. Take the gloves off for a second. Now I didn't bring any type of non-stick stuff, so I hope you don't have an issue with that on grill thing there, but I don't think we will. Oh, you know, one thing, if you ever seen these small pockets on the bottom of pants like this, one thing I'm utilizing mine for is to hold my ferro rod on this side, and on the other side I have some of that waterproof, those fire plugs, and a no-sew patch. So lucky for us, it is a little damp, but it's not windy at all. Which whenever you're trying to set up and do stuff in the dark, that is very nice. Get these things put together. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, I'm going to get this going a bit more, and then we'll start setting up our tent. Alrighty, so I walked off this section right here. There is just, a bit of a decline right here, but there's no rocks. There's only a few sticks, and I got them out of the way. But I love this area because between these green plants and this and the leaf debris, that adds cushion on top of having my sleeping pad. So yeah, once again, I got this tent from Misty Mountain Surplus. I'll have links to all the gear and everything in the video description. This thing did have a messed up zipper. I tried to fix it, but the piece on the Rainfly was just not savable. So while the fire's roaring over there and burning down, it's good to we'll go ahead and get this thing situated. But it's a very simple, quick and easy setup. Put a test lay. There's a very small bit of root to there, so I'm going to pour this direction a bit. Poles first. And that right there is what the poles look like, and they all are attached to this center piece. Comes out looking like a big old spider. Then there's just little holes that you pop the nipples of the pole in. Try to keep them in there. That one. And then these grommets go that part. And that's really the majority of what you got to do. Now you just take the clips, just take these clips, clip them to the pole. And this is only the third time I believe I've set this up, so it is quick and easy. Obviously a freestanding tent, but I'm going to go ahead and stake it down at the 4 corners, and then the rainfly requires 2 stakes. That right there is what the stakes are looking like. Sit in my sleeping pad. Keep our sacks together. I just gotta make sure I want the bad zipper side on the back end. Yeah, you just find these little hooks here, and they attach at the base there to the tent. Just come out and stake out the fly on both sides. Yeah, as you can see, that right there is the crimped together side. Alright, since it's going to be getting down in the 20s, probably the low 20s tonight, brought the Vertex sleeping bag. This will be its first real cold night test, and I'll get that laid out in here so it can be lofting up, but it lofts up pretty dang quick. And this is right here is actually kind of the same setup I would do for like overnight hunts as well, and that's what we'll be doing. I do have a hot tent, a lightweight hot tent and folding titanium stove, which when it gets down to kind of teens, that's where we'd rock with that. And then instead of like fresh food, I have one MRE in here just in case I wanted more food, because when you get cold you need the calories. So I would just have MREs, or you know, just food pre-arranged. But I've got my belt kit in here, so we'll take it out, and a lot of the same stuff that's in that for just the standard hiking out for the day and hunting and coming back is in there, including that little UCO lantern, which there should be a spot somewhere in here that we can hang that. And we'll talk about some of the clothes I'm wearing here in a bit. Here's the MRE that we got. It's the beef goulash. And then the thing that's taking up the majority of space, which like I said, you can pack so much more stuff in here if you packed it correctly, but having the convenience of just being able to pull out your belt kit and throw it on and then hike out and go hunt, and you know, have everything that you might need. I've got a Appalachian Gear wool hoodie in here, which is probably what we'll throw on. I've got on, I'll show you, like I said, we'll do the clothing in a minute. And then just at the very bottom, I've got my Zuba Leaves pillow. And then on the inside, there's our pillow, and got the UCO lantern attached to a little loop up there, and it illuminates the inside of this tent beautifully. If you know you're trying to, I don't know, read a book or something of that nature. You know, like I said, during the winter it gets dark quicker, so having a little light like that where you can work inside your tent is very nice. Okay, so real quick, the fire's about ready for us to throw that venison on. I thought we could talk just for a quick second about clothing. So, like, you know about the Appalachian Gear hoodie. What I'm wearing right now, hiking in, setting up, which has been more than enough, is this bearskin hoodie 2.0. Underneath, I got on a pair of Thermo Wave 100% merino wool thermals, and I'm actually wearing the thermal bottoms as well. And then these are the Pentagon Combat Wolf pants, which I've been wearing like crazy. We got waterproof Garmont boots, got covert thread socks. These are Rogue ROG gloves, which are insulated. And then I have the glove liners in the pockets of my bearskin hoodie, which I can wear and then have my leather gloves on. And then this right here, which can be worn in conjunction with the bearskin hoodie, is a Terran campfire jacket. And this bad boy right here is an absolute beast. It's synthetic insulation, but this outside is windproof, waterproof, and highly fire retardant, so it's good for working around the campfire. It's got a nice sleek profile, and by God, buddy, it is warm. So the bearskin was doing just fine, but for the fire retardantness and working around the fire with the tongs, we will be wearing this. And actually, I should probably go ahead. The wool glove liners. Like, I've got a whole glove system of theirs that I'm testing out throughout the winter. And then these are TA camo leather gloves, which I've been using and abusing here lately. So well, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to break into our tenderloin. Now, I did not bring the only cook set that I brought with me was my Vulcan, canteen. It's got the 750 milliliter cup, and then it's got this little pan slash cup. So I'm only going to make as much that can fit in this at once, and that's probably 2 sessions of cooking. And those flames will dissipate pretty quickly, I do so believe. These are cut to different thicknesses, but by golly, it's going to be good. That marinade is just soaked all up in these pieces here. That should be good for round 1. Here we go, a couple of these thin pieces are done. Oh, baby. That right there is what perfection looks like. If it'll focus. That is so good. Oh, and I found this new tea that is just out of this world that will have after this. And man, when you got when you got meat this good, you don't even need a side to go with it. Well, guys, I'm going to chow down on this. Cook the other half of that. I'll get back with y'all whenever it's time to show y'all that tea. I'll kick the fire up a bit because we can just set our canteen cup on this and that'll keep from getting it any dirtier than it already is. Okay, so now the tea that I found that we're going to be having, which is just phenomenal. I got it at Trader Joe's, and it's called Trader Joe's Winter Wake Up Tea. I believe it's black tea, mint, ginger, and a little bit of cinnamon maybe. All I know is I had my first cup last night and just fell in love with it. So I'm going to see if I can order this offline because the Trader Joe's where I got this is about an hour away. That's like the closest one. But I would love to have about 10 boxes of these on hand. So just waiting for our water to get going. It's already got little bubbles at the bottom, so that's about all we need for it. That is plenty hot enough. And another thing I liked about these in comparison to some other teas is they are individually packaged, which is great for camping and such. And I like mine. Like, this is actually a pretty strong tea with like just one tea bag, but I really like the strength of two. Well, the grill did a phenomenal job, so we'll let it cool off there. It's funny, I took and I made a cozy for my canteen cup, and I just forgot to bring it because, like I said, the titanium does cool down pretty quick. Oh. Man, that tea right there just warms the soul. If you're a tea drinker, I can't recommend this one enough, especially for this time of year. I'm going to finish this and let the fire die down, and then I believe I'm going to crawl into the sack and get it warm. Well, guys, I do believe it is time to hit the hay. I'm gonna Turn my lantern on for a bit. So I put my bearskin hoodie up at the head end. Got my pillow in the sleeping bag. Let's sit out here. Even though I've got both vegetables and I could easily pass my stuff through to this other side that I'm not really using, my large backpack and my belt out of the pack fits perfectly under this half, this closed off half of the rain fly, so that's easy access. I can just unzip this, reach out and grab something if I need it. So yeah, there's a look at those covert socks that I'm wearing. Not the heavyweight version, because I mean those boots have a little bit of insulation, so I didn't really feel like I needed anything extra. I'll put this up here. It's gonna be warm, and I've got these thermals on. I'm just going to wear them in the sleeping bag. My pants I'm going to put down foot area, and that can kind of just keep my sleeping bag too, since we're on a slight decline. There's a little gear pocket up top here. That's where the headlamp's going to go. And in this jacket, I'm actually going to lay over the foot box itself, which will just guarantee, I don't think we got to worry about our toes getting cold. But if you thought it was going to be a real issue, you could actually zip up the jacket and then slide it over your sleeping bag. I'm pretty confident in this Vertex bag. And I will still be closing the rain fly. I just wanted you guys to kind of get an idea of how this was going to work. So do that. We got our center zip. I love the quick tearaway, rip away zipper thing on this. But yeah, I got my pillow in my sleeping bag. And just like that, we are ready to stay nice and cozy. So I'm going to take, and I believe y'all are right in line with where that needs to be. But yeah, guys, I will talk to you beautiful people in the morning. Here is a little look on the inside. There's our lantern. As you can see, this thing has tons of room. And up there's a little gear pocket for the headlamp, and then there's gear pockets at each corner. So my feet are already getting toasty warm. Good night. Oh, good morning, guys. How's it going? So, it is currently 9:57. I woke up at like 5:30 or 6. I had to pee, and the tent on the outside was like covered in frost, and there was a decent bit of frost and condensation on the inside. Everything is solid and dry. There's just a little bit of water is dripped since the sun's come out and is like beating down on the rainfly itself, which I'll just show. There's a few little random droplets of water. No big deal at all. This Vertex sleeping bag is actually waterproof. And yeah, it's like the floor of the tent's completely dry. I think it's really just maybe some areas where I moved around and like shook the tent, and some of the frost that had developed underneath it melted, just kind of dripped down. So anyways, super comfortable night's sleep. This Vertex sleeping bag, I mean, to be as packable as it is, truthfully, I'm so surprised at how warm it is. Like, to begin with, I had to unzip the center of it multiple times throughout the night to vent some heat. No cold feet, just performed really, really well. So I'm looking forward to taking it down to even lower temperatures whenever they get here. And this first time using this light fighter tent, like, so no wind or anything, so nothing like that to really test out the whole zipper repair deal. But it done good, done great, very comfortable. It's just a nice little capsule to sleep in. So yeah, guys, that is going to do it for this one. As always, really appreciate you taking time to watch the video. Just please make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already. Share the channel with your friends, family, anybody that enjoys good old outdoor activities. If you're interested in any of the gear and stuff I have used in this video, then just check the video description, because I will link to everything that I can still link to if it's still available. And yeah, guys, with that said, until the next one, adios.